Welcome back to my series on Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life updates. Today we are hitting up the section called Strolling Around Forsaken Valley, and I will discuss each subject therein. But first, a big thank you for being here and for subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing, whatever you've been up to. In the Strolling Around Forsaken Valley section, which I don't think that's what the actual name is, but I'm just going to read it literally, so whatever. There are 5 subjects to cover. So, let's get started. Discover nature's bounty. The valley is full of nature's blessings. When you have free time after farm maintenance, try fishing, picking flowers, and edible wild plants. In addition to being used for cooking, there may be things that the person you care about likes? Question mark? Fishing has always been a big moneymaker in the Harvest Moon A Wonderful Life games. There are 4 different classifications of locations to fish at: the upstream, downstream, swamp, and spring or goddess pond. The river that runs through the valley between yours and Vesta's farms is home to the upstream and downstream areas. The upstream area would be the area near the waterfall, or the upper half of the river. Downstream would be, likewise, the southern half. The swamp is near Cody's house, where the tortoise likes to hang out. And as for the spring, it's located in the forest area. The harvest sprites refer to it as a goddess pond. There were about 16 different fish you could catch in all, and I wonder what kind of fish we'll see in the remake, and if they'll add any new species. One thing to note, in the old games, you could catch any type of fish year-round. I think so. So I wonder if they'll introduce seasonal fishing if they add more species. I also wonder if the tool upgrades will have power-up effects on the fishing rod like we've seen with the field tools. Or perhaps upgrades will strengthen your chances of catching a more powerful fish, such as a kingfish. And of course, foraging is a big part of the game. You can make lots of extra money from selling the flowers and wild plants you find. You can feed your dog or yourself with the wild plants that are edible as is, or in a cooking recipe. And of course, you can give the wild items to people as gifts. Check the bulletin board. Occasionally, the bulletin board in the center of Forgotten Valley has errands written by the residents. You can get rewards by delivering items that residents need. Please check it frequently and help the residents by all means. This is a cool feature that has become popular in RPGs in general and Story of Seasons as well. It's a completely new feature of the remake, although it has been used in other Story of Seasons games in the past. When you check the bulletin board, you'll see the requested item, how long you have to fulfill the request, and the reward for completing the task. Hopefully it will also strengthen friendships with the villagers as you help them out. I think it'll be rewarding and keep things interesting if you like a good side quest. There are various festivals held in the valley every season. At first, the festival will be attended by one person, but as the number of families increases, it will change into an event where everyone participates. Enjoy various festivals with your family and residents. Okay, so festivals. They were always an issue in the A Wonderful Life games, right? If you've played, you understand the struggle it usually is to even trigger the festival cutscene. And that's all there really was to the festivals, by the way. You didn't get to participate in a meaningful way. So, I really hope that they've amped things up and made it to where you can actually participate a little more, which it seems like from what I'm seeing, they've done just that. The New Year's Festival is a staple in the Harvest Moon and Story of Seasons games, and it's no different in the game series where festivals barely exist. The festival takes place on the 1st of spring, of course, and they've changed the location from the inside of Romana's manor to the courtyard of the manor instead, which I will say looks really appealing. I'm really glad they're actually using it because it's such a nice place. From the text which says, "Let's participate in the New Year's celebration with a special dish as a souvenir." It appears you get to take some yummy food with you for later too, so that can't hurt. Even though it's always been a popular festival in past Harvest Moon and Story of Seasons games, the Fireworks Festival is new to A Wonderful Life. Before, there was a summer festival which was just going to Gustafa's yurt to listen to him play some music outside. Even then, the event was always threatened with cancellation due to rain. The Fireworks Festival occurs in the summer and has always been a favorite of mine. The developers always created an atmosphere that was buzzing with activity, and the whole town showed up. It just felt exciting. All the better if you could ask your special someone to watch some amazing fireworks with you to really get the fire going. Wink wink. With the beautiful season of autumn brings wonderful crops. And with that, there is usually a harvest festival. In the A Wonderful Life games thus far, the Harvest Festival is definitely different from other Harvest Moon Story of Seasons games. You went to the bar and had a cutscene where everyone was sharing food, if you were lucky enough to be friends with them. It looks like they're bringing back traditional Harvest Festival activities where everyone brings an ingredient and throws it into a big pot, and then the whole town shares in whatever soup is created from the items that everyone brought. It appears it'll be held in the town center in the remake instead of the bar this time. Lastly, the winter festival is the Starry Sky Festival. This festival also used to take place at Gustafa's hut, but it looks like it'll take place at the beach instead. The description says, "Let's enjoy an adult date while listening to music under the starry sky." Obviously, you can invite your special someone to this festival and make a date night out of the event. What's more romantic than going out on a freezing cold night to look up at the stars together? This has also always been a favorite festival of mine from games past, and I'm glad they've changed this and other events to make it a little more about enjoying time with other people instead of just watching cutscenes. Leave a memory. Let's leave various memories in the valley using the new tool, Camera. You can also use the self-timer function to take pictures with your family and other residents. I'm really excited about the camera feature in this game. I loved being able to use a camera in Harvest Moon Animal Parade, and I've always said it should be in every game now. It's just so fun to create your own snapshots of your favorite things in the game, and even just taking funny pictures of people is totally worth having a camera for. And you could also do the whole selfie feature in Animal Parade, and it was really fun because you'd go to the festivals and maybe have a specific outfit on, or they had like the cutout thing for you to put your face in. So that was a lot of fun. The album even reminds me of the one from Harvest Moon Animal Parade, so it feels really nostalgic to me. Someone mentioned that 25 photo slots is pretty limited, but I think it makes each photo a little more special and will have you really thinking about which ones you want to keep when you run out of space. It's fun to see how the photo album evolves over time as your farm and family changes as well. Let's refresh. There are lots of playgrounds outside the ranch. Excavation of ruins, cooking part-time job, camp game, etc. How about getting away from the ranch and refreshing your mood? It's a mine! It's really more of a dig site, where two very special characters have a grant, I'm assuming, to dig for specific archaeological finds. That makes this mine a completely different experience for players than any other Harvest Moon or Story of Seasons game. The mechanics of the site look largely the same, with specific squares to dig out, and even the way the rock walls are cut is the same. Back in the day, you would normally only find strange items that could have an archaeological purpose, such as statues, coins, and bones. But I'm hoping we will find a wider range of items in the remake, including gemstones and maybe ore. I'm thinking we'll just buy the upgraded tools from Van for the most part, but it'd be cool if ore was involved somehow. It just makes tool upgrades much more rewarding when you have to mine your own ore. Ah, the game that breaks us all. No one seems to have an easy time with this minigame. It has always been a challenge for players, even when you know how you're supposed to beat it. Well, it's back, baby. Baum brothers Patrick and Cassie, or Casey, are still bringing it in the remake. It takes a lot of practice to beat. I, for one, will be ready to see what, if anything, has changed about their strategies and my own. Minigames are a good way to raise your friendships with villagers, so give it a shot when you can, even if it's intimidating. In addition to the bomb game, the refresh reads that the player can have a part-time gig at the Inner Inn, serving food with Ruby. The last game I remember the player having a part-time job option wasn't like it sounds. It's not a real part-time job. It's just an option to jump in and help a villager with their business to make a little extra money. Like in Harvest Moon, Save the Homeland, you could help Bob with his farm, and it was kind of an all-day thing and you would leave at like 5 and make a little extra cash. It's timed and involves hitting the sequence of buttons in the right order, but that's all I really know about it so far. It's similar to the milk drinking game the player could access at the Inner Inn in Year 2, wherein you hit the A button as fast as you could within the time limit. If you get to play a minigame and make extra money, that sounds like a fun gig to me, right? Well, unfortunately that's all I've got for you today, folks. Subscribe for more content like this, hit the like button to watch later, and share with your friends. Feel free to check out my other videos in the update series. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye!